Yeah. Oh, crap. Sorry.
Okay. Okay, flip to the back. Not the back. I'm sorry, the back of the front page. Not the back.
Actually, the front of the second page. My bad. I'm on a roll today. Alright, so pretty easy. We're going to categorize these organisms in this wetland ecosystem. Okay, first things first is the cattail. This column is trying to not focus. Let's focus. There we go. Alright, so this column tells us what it eats. Okay, and so the cattail eats sunlight. Alright, so if it eats sunlight, it's an autotroph, so it's a plant. And then this category tells us, this column tells us what it's eaten by. Okay, so what it provides energy to. Alright, so muskrats and grasshoppers eat this guy. Alright, so first things first, we need to figure out, is it a producer? Herbivore, carnivore, omnivore, or decomposer. So which one would you choose? Good. So I'm going to put X there. You put an X there. Crayfish eats a dragonfly, mosquito, and algae. Where would you put it? Carnivore. But also, could it be an herbivore? So we could call it a omni. We could give it all three. Let me make that a little bit bigger. Just a little bit. Alright, so the next one, the grasshopper only eats sedge and cattail. So where would we put that one? Herbivore. The next one is the green heron. The green heron only eats the American toad. So where are we going to put that? Carnivore. Alright, the next one is a mink. It eats crayfish, muskrat, American toad, red-winged blackbird, eggs, and young. Where are we going to put that? What is it? Carnivore. The next one is a muskrat. A muskrat eats cattail and sedge. What is it? Herbivore. Alright, the next one is a painted turtle. Turtle eats algae, grasshoppers, crayfish, and spiders. Where are we going to put it? Say it again. It is a carnivore. What? Oh, okay. So omnivore. So we can give it all three, right? So it's herbivore, carnivore, therefore omnivore. Alright, so raccoon eats the crayfish, painted turtle, and American toad. Where are we going to put it? It's a carnivore. The next one is the red-winged blackbird. Eats sedge, grasshoppers, spiders, and dragonfly. What are we going to make it? Say a little bit louder. It's an omnivore, so I can put X's on the herbivore and carnivore. Sedge eats sunlight. So what is it? Producer. The American toad eats spiders, grasshopper, mosquito, dragonfly, and algae only as a tadpole. So where could I put it? Say it again. Yeah, let's go ahead and make it an omnivore so I can give it all three of those X's. And then the spongy only eats dead stuff, so decomposer. And then the algae eats sunlight. It's a producer. And then the spider eats dragonfly, mosquitoes, and grasshoppers, so carnivore. And then the mosquito, bear in mind when there's the mosquito, it's talking about which one it sucks blood from. So green heron, raccoon, blackbird, mink, and muskrat. So what do we want to make that? Carnivore. So when you're later on when you're making your food web, you're like, Ms. Johnson, how can the mosquito eat a raccoon? Well, it's not eating the whole raccoon, it's sucking its blood. All right, and then so the dragonfly only eats mosquitoes. Say that one more time. I hear you guys mumbling. Is it carnivore? Is that what you're mumbling? Awesome. All right, so that was the first part, right? All right, so let's flip this over. Here's what I want from you guys. I want 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 food chains. They need to all be different, but you only have 3 producers. That being said, starting off with this first one, you have your choice of algae, cattail, or sedge as your producer. Okay, and then whatever eats that goes here, and then whatever eats that goes here. Does that kind of make sense? All right. That being said, you're going to end up reusing the producers. Probably not the consumers, but the producers, just bear in mind, you're like, Ms. Johnson, I already used that. Yeah, I know. There's only 3 of them. So you're probably going to end up reusing them, and that's okay. Then go over here, and I want you to make your energy pyramid. So I'm going to add on to this, and so please write this down. For this first energy pyramid, I want you to start off with 1,000 kilojoules on the producer level. Okay? On this next one, I want you to start off with 10,000 kilojoules. On this next one, up here, I want you to end with 90 kilojoules. So I want you to do the math going back downward. On this one, your secondary consumer here, I want you to have 75 kilojoules. And this one here, I want you to have 120 kilojoules. So I want to see that math. Okay? Remember, 10% goes up each level. So if you're starting off 1,000 here, and you need to calculate 10% to go up to this one, and 10% to go up this one. Okay? All right. When you're all done with that, here's the super fun and amazing part. You're going to take all of these organisms and you're going to make one big food web. And so I'm going to give you a big sheet of paper. You're not going to draw pictures because I don't think any of us are that level of artists. But if you are, go you. Now, when you make your food web should look very, very, very messy because you should have lines coming from every single organism, right? So I have cattail here, so if I put cattail down here, so there's my cattail. I know that cattail is eaten by muskrat and grasshopper, so how many arrows do I need? 2. Let me spell muskrat right. All right, there we go. And grasshopper. Now, when I do this, I just go down the line. So I'm done with cattail, and then I go on to crayfish. Okay, and so I'll just write crayfish somewhere. It doesn't really matter because this is supposed to be kind of messy. And crayfish is consumed by the painted turtle, the mink, and the raccoon. So how many arrows should I make coming from crayfish? 3. So it's going to end up being pretty messy. And all these arrows will connect with one another. So don't worry about that. So I'm going to put painted turtle. Mink. And raccoon. Okay, and so then I'm done with the crayfish, and then I would just continue, and the more I go along, I will notice that all the lines will eventually connect with each other, and it will look extremely messy. Now, the one organism to keep off your food web is the fungus, not on web. Do we understand? Do not include the sun. The sun is not a living thing. Alright, so go ahead and get started. I will leave you to it, to do your thing, and I will get you some paper, some white paper.